so today I'm really excited. We can finally unveil our new accessories kit. This is our 2.0 updated accessories kit. We've got the final components in and it's now ready for me to reveal. So it comes in a little tin, a Messy Mansion tin, to store all your little cards in. And inside there are 5 items, 3 scrapers and 2 templates. I'll start off showing you through the scrapers because they are different to the market. There isn't anything quite like these out there at the moment. So there's 3 of them. They are 3 different thicknesses. The first one, the thickest one, is your standard. It's about the same weight as a credit card. So a lot of you use credit cards already. This is the one that I use most of the time. The next one along is what we're calling our light. So this is our standard. This is our light. It's probably about 2/3 of the thickness of the standard. And lastly is our ultralight, which is really quite thin. So as you can see, if I bend them one by one, this is much thinner than the other 2. Okay, if I show them to you on the ends, I don't know if you can see the differences there, but there are definitely 3 different thicknesses, and they're good for different things. This is what you'd normally scrape with, the standard. Some people prefer the light ones. There are some light ones on the market out there from different folks. So these 2 are sort of your more standard ones. Now the ultralight one is awesome for picking up really, really fine details. The thing is, because it's so light, you don't actually end up putting that much pressure on it. So unlike the heavier scrapers, it doesn't scrape quite as much polish out of the etched design as these 2 do. So if you've got a really, really fine design and you find that you're having trouble picking it up, this one is probably the ultralight is going to really help with that. I'm going to just put my polish on as usual, scrape over. Really, I'm not putting any pressure on that. Okay, so you can see okay, so onto the templates. Our new kit comes with 2 templates. The one that was in the old kit and a new template that's got some different shapes and some different uses to it. But first I'll talk through our original template and how to get the best out of it. Now I know that when people often see these big plates with lots of design all over them, it's really hard to imagine how that's going to look on your nail. So what you can do is, with the little template, is work out which hole is going to suit your nail better. So if I'm going to use my index finger, I might choose this one here. That about fits my index finger. So what I can do is put it down on the plate, and I know it's this one, so I can just run it over the plate and go, okay, well this is going to look good, this isn't, that's going to be too stripy. And it just gives me a really clear indication of what's going to turn up on my nail. I can envisage it much better than just looking at a plate that's full of designs. And with these collage designs, sometimes they can be a bit daunting and a bit hard to use, but with this you can pick out quite clearly what part of the design you want to use and just get some feeling on how it's going to look on the nail. Okay, that brings us to the second use of this. What we can do is say, okay, so I'm just going to go up slightly for this next trick to show you. I'm going to use this one. That'll give me a little bit of extras around the edge. So I can say, okay, I want this part of the design here on my nail. I can do what I do normally for stamping, put down some polish, scrape it. Now I can use the template to pick out exactly what part of the design I want. Leave the template there. I wasn't quite quick enough, but I think you get the idea. So I've managed to pick out exactly where I want, and that can now go straight on my nail. the benefit to that is that if I'd used this without the template, my whole stamper will be covered in that design. Cleanup's a lot easier now because I haven't used as much surface area of the plate. So when you're using the small stampers, it's not that much different, but if you're using a big stamper, one of those, you know, the big creative ones or something, you don't necessarily want all of that design on your stamper. Okay, and the last thing we can use these for is just to pick out parts of the design. Okay, so our last trick has to do with isolating images. If I want to use this flower here, normally what I do is paint the image over, scrape it, get it on the stamper, and I've got it, but I've also got all this extra. Now generally what you do is you'd get a cotton bud or your cleanup brush and you go and clean that all off and then stamp this. Problem with that is often the design you want is dry by the time you've managed to clean all the excess design off the stamper. What we can do with this template is same sort of thing, but use the template to make sure that we don't pick up all that excess. So I've scraped it. Now I'm just going to put my template on here. There's my design. I've got nearly as much to clean up, and I can put that straight on my nail. So it just makes that process a whole lot faster and easier. Okay, so these are our new templates. We've had a call for some of these shapes, which is pretty exciting, so we're able to bring them to you now. They've just come out. They do allow you to pick up different designs. You can block things off with them. You can also use them to just pick up part of the image. So for example, I've got this image here on Liliana 09, and it's a fairly compact image, which is what you want. What I can do is, rather than having to use tape or vinyls, there's my image there. So that can now go straight onto my nail. And I haven't had to use vinyls or anything to tape off part of my nail to put that on. So that just makes it a whole lot easier to get those chevrons onto my nail. Maybe we can use the triangle design. These sort of triangles are really quite in at the moment. I might use it with, again from Liliana, these little flowers here. Same process as usual. Polish, scrape. I can place the tool on top and stamp as usual. And I was a little bit slow because I was talking too much, so I haven't picked up the image as well as I might, but you can get the idea. That can go straight on my nail now. So instead of having to tape off parts of my nail, I can use the template. I can also put all the different shapes that are here, I can put on my nail. The other thing that these have got is you can turn any image into a French tip image with this. Now some of the older plates have the curved edges on them on the design, so you can pick up a tip. The good thing about these ones is that you can use that to turn pretty much any image into a French tip image. So I'll just demonstrate it. Use this one off Lead Light Lacquer A05. Again, we just start as usual. Put the polish on, scrape it, put the tool down, and pick up. And you can see that I've got the French tip image on my stamper, so I can just put my nail onto there, and that creates perfect French tips. with the curve in them. So what it means is that any of these collage plates like this that have got the big images on them, you can pick out any part of that and use that as a French tip image. So when are these all available?